Hi, my name is Katie and this is my channel So Tattered, and thank you for coming back. I know that it's been a minute and I appreciate everybody who has messaged me and asked if I was okay, and the ones who asked me if I'm coming back. I'm back. It's just been a very crazy summer and almost end of fall now. It's in the end of October the 29th, I believe. It's just been a lot going on, and I figured I need to at least do this one to make sure that I mention the things that I wanted to talk about. Last time I was here, I have talked about retreats, and now I've been to 2 retreats. So this one's going to be about the retreats and a little bit about my trip to see my aunt in Washington. But I'm very scattered. I have recorded this numerous times. I've had all kinds of problems pop up, and I'm out of practice, and so this is a mess. It's just a mess, but that's okay, because this is just going to encourage me to not wait so long next time, and then I won't be so scattered. Sorry. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the retreat I went to at Brier. I went in April, and that's the one that I was invited to go. It's Betsy Chutchian's retreat, and her friends invited me, Renita and Pat, and I'm so thankful that they did. I had a blast. I'll start with the Brier retreat. It's in East Texas. It is a beautiful facility. It's a house. It's a house in the country, and you feel like you are at your grandma's house. It's just so homey and warm and inviting. It's I loved it. I loved the decor of it, all of it. The people who work there were extremely kind, and they hug you and tell you welcome home when you come in, which at first I was like, I don't know you. But then immediately you get to know them, and wonderful. They're the most wonderful people. And I got to, we were upstairs, so it was my mom and I, Rebecca and Joellen. Rebecca and Joellen are my friends from the Sit and Stitch, and I invited them because I knew that they would get a lot out of it. They're both quilters, and I was friends with them, but I didn't know them very well. But then after doing the retreat, I haven't laughed that hard, and I can't even tell you how long. I don't know. They made it so much better. I never leave my home. I don't leave. And so this has been a weird experience for me. I've gone to 2 other retreats, but I always come home at night. And this one, it being 2 hours for me, wasn't feasible. So I stayed there, and they were great roommates. I had a blast with them. The ladies who were there that were Betsy's friends, so sweet and kind. They at no point in time did I feel like we were outsiders. They were immediately welcoming and fun and friendly, and I got to sit at the table with Renita and Pat, and they both do cross stitch, so it was nice watching them stitch, at this quilting retreat, and it was just a great environment. More about the retreat center. It's the acreage it's on is beautiful. They have gardens. When you look out the windows, they have beautiful views of the property. It was beautiful. One negative, the internet was not great, but I hear that that's not an always thing. It was a that time thing. But it was great. The food was better than I had anticipated. I had heard that it was amazing. It was more than that. That was the best food. It's all home cooked from scratch right there. You get up in the morning, and there are people starting to work on breakfast. And then when you're done with breakfast, you go and you do some sewing or stitching, and then you're waiting for that bell to ring, because it's going to ring and it's going to mean more good food. It was so good. My pants were so tight after that weekend, but it was some of the best food. They also have a recipe book because it's that good. But it was wonderful to just, do your hobby and eat and hang out with friends and talk. The atmosphere was so great that even after the food was gone, we still sat at the table talking to each other, because that was just how great this group was, and the environment that was created by Brier. It was phenomenal. So lots of great positive things to say about Greenbrier. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a group, for your group, for a place to be. That's a good one. Meeting Betsy was one of the greatest things. You know, a lot of you guys know that I am a huge fan of her. She is an amazing quilt designer, fabric designer. I had almost all of her books. I got a few more from the retreat that I didn't know or didn't have. And she was so wonderful. I got to sit and talk with her about the whole process of the designing. Where does it come from? How does it work? And just thinking about how she finds these reproduction fabrics and these quilts and things in her collection and then turns it into a fabric line that then I buy and use into my quilts that I love. It's pretty incredible when you think about it. And I loved just listening to her whole thought process on it and her creative side. And she brought some of her antique quilts from her collection and her quilts that she has designed. And getting to see those up and close was really cool. It ignited more inspiration to do some of these quilts that I've been too scared to tackle. I asked if she would bring Hope's Journey, which has been one of those quilts that I tried years ago and epically failed, but still wanted to make it. And just seeing hers was like, I'm not giving up. I'm going to do it again. Hope's Journey. This is the quilt. It's a sampler quilt, and this book is really incredible because it also has a lot of smalls in it. So if you didn't want to do the whole quilt, you could take the blocks that she gives you and make it to smalls. I was going to show you some examples, but let's see. There's just a ton of these. They're just beautiful quilts. And then, so I am, and I know I've said this before, but I am now even more inspired to start the sampler quilt. So I'm going to get going on that in January. If anybody else wants to get on board with me. I have a ton of scraps that need to be used up. This is the perfect quilt for it. And seeing hers in person was amazing. So I'm definitely going to do that. When she brought her quilts in, she brought in an antique quilt that she had kits where you can buy the kit, and it had the fabric in it to make the blocks for this quilt. And so I definitely wanted to participate, so I got a kit, and the quilt was for the small quilt. And so it was really fun to work on these. So it was a lot of older fabrics. She did an amazing job because we're looking at the kits and the original, and the fabrics that she got were identical, if not like really close, if not identical. And so it was really fun to keep looking at the antique and then going back and making my blocks and everything. And I loved the whole process of that and watching everybody else making theirs. And so I'm thinking I'm going to hand quilt this one. I think that's a good one for me. I have never hand quilted a whole quilt, and I think I'm going to start with this one. So that was one of the projects. The other project that she had was, it was inspired by Maggie Bononomy, who is an incredible designer. She does a lot of textile stuff with wovens and wools, and she just mingles everything together, the very primitive look, folk art type stuff. Fantastic. She had a book there that was hers, and we got to look through it, and I immediately was texting my husband because I knew it was one that was older. It was going to be hard to find. And I'm like, you have to give me this book. And he found one, and so I got to have one. But this is Maggie Bononomy, and this is the book, Thistle Down Moon. And there's some really great projects in here. But she had kits to make something, a needle book that was inspired by Maggie's stuff. So she had these kits, and I couldn't pick if I wanted this colorway or this colorway, so I bought both. But I knew I didn't want to make a needle book. I knew I wanted to make something bigger, and so I took it home with me, and I wanted to make a stitch mat. And so I took the things that I got from Betsy and the book and put them together, and I came out with my stitch mat. And so this is it, and you just unroll it, and this is the mat. This is where I put my orts. This is my needles. My scissors go in here, and the rest of it's just pretty. But some of these designs were from Betsy. She did like hand drawing pattern. It was really cool. And then some of this is from the book. And then I added, this is an antique quilt that I had, and then this is a salvage from one of Betsy's line, and it says Kate's Garden Gate. That was one of my favorites of hers, and it says by Betsy Chutchian. So I just thought that would be a good way to remember the experience and everything and how this came to life. And I'm going to just keep adding to it, just stitch more patches and whatnot on it. And then, so that's another thing from that retreat. Sorry, my battery died again. I'm having some problems today, but I'm going to get through this because I told myself I'm doing a video today. Okay, so, crud. I don't know what I was talking about. So, yeah, just lots of inspiration at the retreat. I got to see her quilts that she's made. I got to see her collection of quilts. It was very cool. The whole experience was cool. The ladies there were so fun and sweet, and it was actually a little emotional leaving because of the connections that we had made just in those short days. And I missed my family like crazy, but it was so fun. And now I can see why people do these retreats, because they're a lot of fun. So after I got back from Betsy's retreat, which I'm going to again next year, I'm really excited. We have one in January and one in April. And these ladies, I've met with them a few times after the fact of the retreat. Like, we have met at Pat's house. Pat is an incredible stitcher and quilter. Her house is just gorgeousness all over the place. And so she is on Instagram. She is Bedford Quilter. I'll put it down below. Bedford Quilter, yes. And but I think she's also on Facebook. But you should definitely follow her. She does beautiful stitching and quilting. So after that, I went to Washington to visit my aunt, and I took my youngest son with me, Cody. He had just graduated, and I was excited to spend some more quality time with him, and I was excited for him to meet my cousins. My cousins and I are really close in age, and we were really close when we were kids. They would come to visit a lot. But, life. I haven't seen them since I got married, so that was in 99. So it's been a minute. So I was very excited to see them, my aunt, my uncle, all of them. This is on my mom's side. And so I went to Vancouver, Washington, and she ran us all over the place. She has so much energy. It was amazing. Oh, even my son was having a hard time keeping up with her. They were so fun, and it was a great time, great laughs. It was a whole week of getting just good time with them, and I needed that because I had missed them a lot. And we got to go to Seattle and meet up with my cousin Christopher, who he lives there, and we got to go to the museum out there, which my son just loved because he loves all that 90s grunge, and he loved it. He was just eating up with it. So, and then him and my cousin, they hit it off really great. They had a lot in common. I got to see my cousin Jenny, who she showed us around, and she hung out with us a lot, so that was really great. I was very happy. My aunt's house is incredible. She had it built, custom built. It was just everything you can think of was perfectly done. I felt like I was staying in a magazine. The house was gorgeous. The property was like nothing I've experienced. It was like an English garden, and it's 4 acres, and I spent all the time I possibly could outside because it was just that amazing. I had trails that I could walk around. I ate more blueberries than I can even count. It was such a great break and fun catching up with them. While I was there, we went to Portland, and so I got to go to Acorns and Threads, and that was fun. My son in that store with me, he was embarrassing me a little bit, but what a beautiful store. They had tons of models that you could be inspired by, and a big variety of charts, and the ladies there were so nice, and I got to, it was a great time in there. My aunt even picked up a chart. I'm hoping she gets started. I'm going to be making her a project bag. It was great. It was just a great experience, and I'm hoping that my aunt, uncle, and cousins, they come down here, like, because I miss them a lot, and I'm already ready to see them again, so hopefully in the spring. But yeah, that was a phenomenal experience. My Aunt Mickey, she is a very wonderful person, and very talented, and just heartwarming. Love that woman. So, but yeah, so we went to that, and then we came back, and not even a week later, I had the cross-stitch retreat at Boxcar that my friend Jana and I hosted. We co-hosted it together, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. The process was rough. It was a lot of work. Luckily, I had Jana. Jana I met through Boxcar. She worked there, and she would do the hosting of the sit and stitch that we'd have on the first Wednesdays of every month. And that's how I got to know her, and we became really good friends, and she's wonderful. And when she asked me if I wanted to co-host a retreat with her, I said yes. And she is she's everything I'm not. She's great at all the things that I really stink at. Like, I'm not good with emails, business stuff. I'm not good with contacting people. I'm not good with organization, none of that. And she's fantastic. And she was really good at, like, okay, Katie, we got to do this. Okay, Katie. So she stayed on my heels, and without her, it would have been a disaster. She took care of all the details that I would never have thought of. And this was the first cross stitch retreat at Boxcar. So, I mean, for her to do all that was pretty incredible. I mean, she's done quilt retreats, but, you know, this is kind of a different animal. But it was a lot of fun working with her. All the work that went into it was a bit exhausting, and I thought, I'm never doing this again. As much fun as I had with Jana, this is exhausting. But, you know, as we got there and started seeing our friends come in, and, you know, the smiles on their face and the excitement and everything, and I was like, oh, this is really great. And then seeing them opening the boxes, we had an option where you could buy a surprise box. And seeing them open it and get excited about things in there, I was like, okay, this was really cool. And then, you know, people were like, oh, I can't wait till the next one. And I'm like, but at the end I was like, yeah, I could do this again. It was worth it just to see everybody so happy. So we'll be doing it again. She has a wedding next year, so it'll be a different retreat, but still one that I will co-host with. Rebecca, my friend Rebecca, she offered to co-host with me. So there will be one, but it'll just be different. But yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about Boxcar. Boxcar, if you didn't already know, I know I talk about it a lot. They are a quilt shop in Aubrey. They have the quilt shop. Then they have another building that is where we do the sit and stitch, but they offer classes. They have tons of activities. That place is always going with activities. There's always people there doing things. And then they had another shop next to that. It was an antique shop, but they recently had an estate sale, and they're turning it into something else, which I don't think they've announced, but I know what it is. But it's going to be really awesome, and I'm really excited about it. And then they have the 3 retreat centers. The biggest one holds 24, And it used to be an office building that they converted into this retreat center where it has a bunch of rooms that sleep 2 to 3 people. And then they have bathrooms, kitchen, dining room, living room, sewing area. This is their first cross stitch retreat, so it's really just set up for quilters, but it was perfect for cross stitchers.
You guys are here. If you have been waiting, you should see what we've been waiting for this to get here. But we're excited. This is the first cross stitch retreat at Boxcar Ranch.
It's awesome too, because you could, if you wanted, you could rent out all 3 of the places. The other one holds, I believe, 8, and the other one is 4. But and you can walk to the quilt shop. It's one of those great places where they cater all the food from local places, so you don't have to leave the property. You can stay in your pajamas as long as you want, if you wanted. But if you're not from the area, I would encourage you to take a field trip. You know, the Buc-ee's isn't that far. There's lots of cool shops. You're close to Denton. So it's a really great place, because the shop itself and the retreat center is in the country, but you're still close to everything. But yeah, so that's about the retreat center. So we did, let's see, where do I start? We had a couple of games that we played. We played bingo, and so we did that for winners. When that one was a lot of fun, a lot of laughter. It was interesting. And we did right, left, center, which we did with floss. So that was cool, because then someone ended up with a whole bunch of floss at the end. And then we did door prizes. So everybody walked away with something. We had everybody put their name in the bucket, and we drew names throughout the weekend so that everybody walked away with things. It was a lot of fun. We did a smalls exchange. You didn't have to do it, but I think most people did. It was, it had to be a certain size, had to be small, and you couldn't put anything in there that was over anything extra other than like a $5 thing. I don't know. My camera's blinking something at me, and oh my gosh, if I do this for the 4th time and it doesn't work, I'm going to be so disappointed. Okay, well, anyway, so I'm going to keep going and just, we did the games, we did the smalls exchange. I think pretty much everybody walked away with something amazing. I was really blown away by the amount of work that people put into their smalls. So I'll show mine. I'm kind of going out of order here. I'll go ahead and show mine since I'm talking about it. But so I picked the one that was in this cute bag, which is a bag from Keepsakes that I was told after the fact, and then this cute vintage card on it. And inside was this. So I got Lisa L Snaps, who is L Snaps on Instagram and on Flosstube. She just started her first, or I think she just put out her 2nd video, so you have to go watch her. She's really incredible. But this is a Teresa Kogut design, and then she finished it with the wool on the back, and I just love the little bells and everything. It's so cute. I totally won. So that's what I got from the smalls exchange. And then, so I'll tell you kind of the setup. We had, first we had the people, so I'll tell you the Chatterbox. So the Chatterbox is the group, it's a core group that we first met at the Sit and Stitch at Boxcar. And we have a group text, and we kind of threw some names out there, and we ended up on Chatterbox because we met at Boxcar, Chatterbox, and we talk a lot, so it just made sense. And then my friend Joellen, who is Sojo on Instagram, her daughter made the logo sorry, I'm talking fast. My battery is gonna run out again. I just know it. She made our logo, and it's so cute, and she did a great job. So it was open to our stitch group first, and then if there were any spaces, we had the stitch group got to pick friends or someone that they wanted. So we kept it to people that we know. I had to invite Celeste from Celeste Creates, and I was over the moon excited when she said that she was going to come. I had not met her before, and she quickly became one of my closest friends. She's wonderful. We've done a lot of texting before this, but getting to meet her in person, she is so sweet and has a great sense of humor. She's phenomenal. I know y'all all watch her anyways, but it was so nice meeting her. And but yeah, most of the people we already knew from Boxcar, but it was a lot of fun. And then we did, so when we had them come in their rooms, they had a little card with a free chart on it that said Mary, and everybody had their own little designated room and their designated area to sit and stitch in. And with that free chart, we gave free charts to people when they came in. It was on their sitting area, and they were free charts that were Christmas, because this was all Christmas themed. And the one that was on their bed was this Mary, and I cannot tell you who the designer was. I'll have to look it up and put it down below, but I made it into a box, one of those fabric boxes, and this trim is from Purple Paper Mountain. I thought that would be a fun way. But we wanted instead of just giving free charts, we wanted it to be exciting, so that they were like, oh, free charts, black and white, blah, blah, blah. No, they got to see what it looks like stitched up, so that was cool. So I stitched a couple. My mom stitched one, Jana stitched one, and Cindy stitched one. And I also stitched this one, which was... it's by Scarlet House, and it's from our house to yours, and I used all the call for. And then this is a chenille, and then this trim is from Purple Paper Mountain. That's how I did the back, but I thought that turned out really cute. It was a fun stitch. That stitched up pretty quick. But yeah, we just like a handful of patterns that they could stitch up, and that was a lot of fun. The box. So, well, shirts. You could buy the shirt, and you could also add on the surprise box. But we also had classes. We had 2 classes, a finish in the round and a pin class. Trish, who is on Instagram, and I'll put her down below, she used to be a finisher for her friend's cross-stitch shop. I think it's in Arizona, New Mexico. One of those. Anyway, she does amazing finishes, and she agreed to do a finishing class for us. It was just a fun class to do. And so everybody came with a finished project that they could FFO there, or just, finish it in the round. And so she could teach us that. So I picked this blackbird. And so it was really cool. She taught us how to do it, and I kind of knew how, but her method was so much better than mine. So I should have had this finished. I could have used it this season, but I didn't, because my brain was already moved on to Christmas. That was one of the classes. The other class was by Cindy, and she taught us how to make counting pins, and oh, they were so fun to make. So we made little counting pins. And these weren't, you didn't have to take this class. It was just fun. It was fun to take it. Like this one. Yeah, I really appreciated them volunteering to do all that. And so people really enjoyed that. The other thing was, I'm going to do the box, and I'm going to do the gifts that people gave, because there were some good ones and good ideas in there. I really hope this is recording. I'm so panicked. I'm talking so fast because I'm trying not to have to do this again. So these were the boxes, and they turned out pretty cute. It was fun seeing everybody excited about them. The first thing in the box, and I've had to restrain myself from using any of this stuff because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. There was a little something about everything that was in here and where it came from. This was we had another thing that Jana was good at, she reached out to Annie the Proper Stitcher and asked her if she would do an exclusive for our retreat, and the theme was Christmas, and Annie was very sweet and said she would, and so she did the All Is Calm chart for our group, and this will be later released, but it was great because she sent us the model and everything, so it was beautiful. And so we gave everybody a copy of that and the floss that goes with it. And we told people, because it's stitched on 40 or 36 count needle bling suede, and so we told the stitchers that without telling them what the exclusive was going to be. We told them that this is what it was stitched on if you wanted to get something in your own count or whatnot, or they wanted to kind of match it. So if they wanted to start it there, they could. Another thing that was in the box was I Count Mini. So it was this is the chart and the bag. Both came in the box. And then what is this? Oh, this is, she also, Annie, she did she took parts from, I can't show you because it's just the chart, but she took parts from the original design and she made it into where you could stitch it onto the bag, which I thought was a great idea. Very clever. So that was really cool. And then we got these cups that were designed for our group. Sorry, the ring light. It's so cloudy here today. That has our logo on it. And then I reached out to Purple Paper Mountain, who is where I get, I'd say 99% of my trim I get from her. Her business is awesome. She's super easy to get a hold of. She ships out really fast. Her stuff is very inexpensive. Great quality, and she has a ton of variety of things. So I like to just go and pick a whole lot of everything, and that way, you know, because it's kind of hard to buy online, but because it's so reasonably priced, I can buy a ton of it, and then it comes in and I can be like, oh, I really love this. And so here's her card. Purple Paper Mountain. She's on Etsy. I've been ordering from her since I started cross stitching. She's great. And then these are the ones I try to pick Christmas colors, and then I put them on these spools, and those turned out so fun. But I really appreciate her working with me on that. And then let's see some other things that came in. We got these little zipper charms, snowflake to go with our theme, and Jana had these made. They're the corner gauges, because we all love our corner gauges. And I made this little floss bling thing. This is a Christmas house. And let's see what else is in here. So yeah, I had this all just done just so, and then this is video number like 5 or 4 or something. And Jana had these made. She made these. They're the little magnets where you can keep track of where you're at on your chart. I thought that was super clever. And then I made these button cards. I love when you go into an antique store and they have these vintage button cards. So I thought I would make some, and so I made them, and then I did this sewing the buttons on it like you would get at an antique store. I buy these every time I see them at a store. So, okay, that was that. Oh wait, I think the project cards came in there too, didn't they? Stitch, please. Sorry. Thank goodness Jana did all this so I would know. Yes, that's all that was in there. So I thought that was really great. It turned out great. Everybody seemed to really like it. I appreciate Annie the Proper Stitcher for doing that for us. That made it that much more exciting to have that. Just really cool, and I can't wait for her to release it for everybody else to be able to do it also. So that brings me to the gifts. I'm going to say a couple things before I get started with that. Okay. I haven't been to a lot of retreats. This is the first cross-stitch retreat that I went to where, other than just your table mates, which the stitching bee, it was only what, like 5 of us, 6 of us at that one, where you get a lot of gifts from a lot of people. And this is only 24 people, but it still was a lot. And I would leave to go talk to somebody, which was probably 95% of the time, and then come back and there would be something at my table and I didn't know who gave it to me, where it came from, if it was mine or if it slid over from someone else's. So my recommendation, no matter what you're giving, no matter what it is, put your name on it. People want to know who it came from. And then if you're like me and you have it sitting in a box for a while because you don't have time to get to it yet, you want to be able to know, okay, oh yeah, that's so-and-so gave me that. So there's a couple of clever ways that people have done it in this group that I'm going to show you. And I know I got a lot more than this. If it's not in this pile, it's because it got used and is somewhere in my house. I know my great niece has my gift from Linda, Richter Stitcher. She found my little Texas bag and she put her little princesses in it, and it's, you know, I don't have that bag anymore. it's now hers. But so these are just some ideas that were given, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea, because I know we're all looking for ideas for retreats and things like that. So I wanted to go over those. So I'll start with this one. Celeste, I believe these were things that she gave to everybody, but she gave out these strawberries. I love the strawberry. It's so stinking cute with the buttons and everything. So, and which it matched my stitching mat perfectly, which I have right here. I wanted to make a Christmas mat for my space, and it's got a little pocket for my scissors and whatnot, so it matched. It was meant to be. And then I even made one of these little phone things. Where's my phone? Your phone goes in like this. And so I made that to go on my mat also from the same fabric line. And it was fun because, you know, when you can watch, this is what I do with mine, because my friend Jana made me one. And I can watch Flosstube while I'm stitching and then stick my pins in here. They're handy. So you can get the fusible pattern at Boxcar. So there's that. And then she also gave us these little yo-yos. Okay, so her mom made these, and I thought that was the sweetest thing that she shared these with us. There's so many different things that you can use these on. You can add them to little things, the projects. You can add them to the backs of things. You can add them to, you know how like when you stitch the yo-yo. I mean, there's just a million things I can think of with these little yo-yos. So it meant a lot that she shared these with us, that her mom made these. She also made these scissor holder. I think these she made just for a table, but so they're just to hold your little scissors, and I love that she put this little tag on it. It says with love, and it says Celeste. So I thought that was a really good idea. And then she made me a project bag, which just means so much to me. Look how beautiful that bag is. That's so pretty. And it has a K on it, and it says made with love. And I already have a project picked out for this, so I'm about to start something new, and it's going to be perfect. So I love this. But another great idea was Lisa L Snaps. She did a free chart that was out there. And it's Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal. And she printed it out and then kitted it for us so that we could stitch it immediately. I thought that was really great. And some of the ladies, they went ahead and stitched it, and they used that for their finishing in the round class. Really smart. Some other great ideas. This was Rebecca. This was sitting at my table with some other things, but these are great. You place name tag place thing. You know what I'm talking about when you're at the table and it's got your name tag here, so you know. But and then it had little floss drops on it. Thought that was really cute idea. My mom, she made these ornaments that you can see through, and she just filled it with Christmas fabric. Genius. Now I'm going to put it on my tree and think about my mom and Boxcar. Jana, she took some vintage postcards or Christmas cards or whatnot, and she turned them into project cards. So let's see, there's that, and then on the back has all the information of your project. genius. Mary, this was a good idea. So Mary wanted to make sure that we knew who gave us these. She has a tag on the outside. This is to Katie, love Mary. And on the inside it was some Christmas stickers and Christmas floss tags. But, and of course, these are just the cutest. Let's see. But on the back it says Chatterbox Stitchers is our logo. From my heart to yours, Mary at She Cave Stitcher. She's on Instagram. And it's Christmas in July Retreat 2024. And I thought that was such a good idea because I not only know who gave me this, but I know when she gave it to me. And now when I kit a project up with it, it's such a good idea. So there's that one. And then Trinka, she stitched these for everybody. And so it was the Chatterbox Stitchers. And then she did a little DMC floss. How cute is that? And it's a little ornament, so it's going to go on my tree. And see, Joellen, you know, her daughter's the one who made our logo. She had these zipper bags made. And I thought that was such a cute idea. And she also has little ornaments. You know, anything with the logo or to tell you where you got it from, I think is so much fun. Little stickers. And you know how I know that she gave it to me? Because her button's in it. She's Sojo. She's my friend Sojo. But I thought that was a really great idea also. But yeah, so the thing that I did coasters. So it's the same method of just layered on fabric and then did a whole bunch of, to get it all down, base it down, and then put a little tab on it. So, but yeah, there's little coasters, and then I gave plastic Christmas cups with a bunch of candy and coffee pods, things like that in it. So that way I was able to do it for everybody who was there, and that was my gift. So I think that's all. I have made this video so many times. I'm sorry if I talked really fast. I'm sorry about all the different, it's been a crazy summer. My brain is totally on to Christmas. It gets that way hitting July because it's like, oh, Christmas in July. That's when I start picking my themes. That's when I start thinking about my house, where my tree's going to go, when I have to move furniture, that kind of stuff. September, it hits really hard, and it's because that's my birthday month. And my husband, he's so sweet to me. He took off the whole week, and he takes me Christmas shopping. And he took me to 3 Christmas stores, and one of them was like 2 hours away, and it was incredible. And so, yeah, I do the collecting. Starting September, well, even before September, I was collecting, but that's when it gets really like, I gotta start getting all the things. And so, yes, my Christmas tree is up in the same room as my Halloween tree. And it's fine because, you know, I just don't turn on the Christmas. I'll just turn on the Halloween one. But I'm working on the Christmas one. I needed to get started early. I'm so excited. My aunt and uncle are visiting mid-December or November. I need to have everything done before they get here. I want to just enjoy them while they're here. And so that was one of my big goals. And I'm very active on Instagram, and I've been posting things on Instagram of the Christmas stuff. And I know it's early. I know it's too much for some of you guys, and I hope that y'all don't unfollow me, but I just get consumed with it because I just love Christmas so much. I love Christmas so much. And so I'm trying to give tips on things that I do. I've had a lot of people ask me about that, so that's on there on Instagram. Also, I want to give an apology. I am really, really, really bad about commenting, responding to comments on YouTube, and I feel bad about that. And it's a lot of it is I'm so scattered. I have a hard time. I'm not on my phone a ton, and I'm terrible at communicating. I'm terrible at texting. You can ask my family even. I mean, you will text me and it'll be days before I get back to you. And in this case, some of you guys were getting messages back from me months later, and I'm sorry. If you have a question, I'm so much better on Instagram. Probably because I'm on there a lot looking at ideas for things like Christmas and all that and getting the inspiration. But it's easier for me just to jump over there and answer a question than on YouTube. and it's just how my brain works. So if you are on Instagram and are able to, if you want to get me faster, that's how to get a hold of me. I will try to do better on YouTube though. And I'm going to try to do better about doing these videos. If I can just do it in a routine, then I won't be so out of practice and these won't be so ridiculous. My next video will be the quilt tube video. I have done a ton of sewing, so I'm excited to talk about all those things. Yes, Christmas is heavily involved, but there's other things too. And so that will be my next one. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get this video out about the retreats. I know it's been a while, and but better late than never. I'm trying. But they were so incredible. I'm going back to Betsy's retreat in January, if I didn't already say that. That's going to be so awesome. I'm excited to see those women again. And when they said, hey, do you want to come to the one in January? I was like, oh my gosh, that's so far away. And now it's almost here. So I am so excited. And then there'll be another one in April with them. And then I have another cross stitch retreat, 2 more next year at Boxcar. So I'm already filling up. I've got 4 retreats coming up. But yes, thank you for coming and watching this. I hope that something inspired you. You got some ideas. I am surrounded by incredible people who inspire me all the time and I get great ideas from. So hopefully you also got some great ideas from the things that they did. Okay, so I'll be back when I can. All right, bye.